Hey guys, it's February 5th, 2021. Let's do post-market technical analysis on Nano Dimension. So, Nano Dimension, we expected something interesting to happen this morning, um, and it did. It wasn't really what we were expecting, which was news of a possible direct offering, right? My advice, again, I'm not a professional financial advisor, but what I've seen in the past was always a dip when an announcement of a direct offering or some kind of offering, right? Because it is a possible dilution of the shares, um, but for short term, but for a long term, it's good for a company that's growing and trying to increase liquidity in the future. So it's a good investment now for something of much larger proportion later. So we saw that dip, which I recommend. Wait for the dip. Um, there was that support at 1447. So hopefully people were able to get in that dip, and we saw that with this dramatic, uh, quite a bit of a candle that came in, and then it got rejected pretty heavily at this line of 1539. So hopefully we'll continue the upside um, next week. Right now, it looks like it's trading sideways, trading between 1477 and 1503. So we'll see if we can break out of this. Looks like we are on a rising wedge, and try to get up to here and hopefully back up to the 1537 or 39 mark to where um, we're retesting the resistance. So we'll see how that goes. But just be aware that it could possibly go down this angle also. Like I've been saying in the past, the weekly the weekly view of this is it's pretty well oversold. I mean overbought. Looking at the RSI, we're still quite up there. We're still at 81.52, so not really has changed much. Of course, this is on a weekly basis, so we're not going to really see any change of that until next week. But here we have gone down a little bit. So let's see, starting on the first, so which is here. Yeah, I can't imagine really the RSI going down too much from this week's range, because we did move up and then we're kind of like left in the middle of it. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, just keep your eyes open. Just be on alert that this can turn around on us, because we're at a point where we're moving up, but also um, there's been a strong angle pointing downward, and we're kind of in the halfway point. Let's look at so the RSI is pretty, it's very healthy still. It's a fair range at 50. And let's look at the MACD. And the MACD is, it's underneath the crossover. So once we do get a crossover and remain on top, that's when we'll be able to see the start of more of a bullish run. But again, we'll have to take that day by day, hour by hour. Other than that, not really much to cover. Other than that sell off, that slow sell off here, and then had a recovery late in the afternoon. So other than that, that's about it, guys. We'll just keep your eyes open for next week, and maybe starting early next week, where we will start crossing that 50 to 100. The biggest one see a big difference in is when the 50 MA crosses over to 200 MA. That pattern is known as a golden cross. So that is going to be a pretty big event for this company when that does happen. We'll probably start to see what Kathy Woods and her team describes as an S curve adoption. Basically, it's a bit of a ramp up in the beginning, like you see here. It's gonna come in and then just skyrocket up, and then just rocket major mass adoption, and then it tapers off after a long period of growth. So I think we're at the very beginnings of nano dimension. As you can see here, the inflection point really started in around October, or even as early as around May timeframe, late May, early June. So yeah, so we'll see how things go with them. That new direct offering is possibly a need for more capital to acquire, a company or several companies in the near term. So there is a reason behind their madness. They need that capital in order to operate their R&D activities and their acquisitions. All right. Other than that, guys, it's been a good week. We have been trading sideways, but we'll see how it goes going into next week. All right. See you next Monday, and happy weekend.